Welcome to the Confidence Tea Podcast, where we brew up inspiration, self-discovery, and a sprinkle of empowerment, all over a cup of tea. Please welcome your host, Virginie Madiston. Virginie is a passionate advocate for personal growth and wellness, blending the art of tea with the journey of confidence. With a background in psychology, theology, and coaching, she believes every sip of tea can lead to a transformed mind, edified soul, and activated confidence. So get ready to steep yourself in uplifting conversations, insightful stories, and practical wisdom. Without further ado, here's your host of the Confidence Tea Podcast, Virginie Madiston.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Confidence Tea. I'm your host, Gigi, and we get to have an amazing conversation about personal growth, embracing our authentic self, and how we can do this together on this amazing journey. And so tonight, I have a very special guest for you. Miss Tiffany Sears is in the house. She is a real estate expert. So we are going to be talking and we're going to have some amazing thoughts and ideas for you. And so I hope you have a great cup of tea and you are ready to have this conversation with me. So I want to give you some time. I want you guys to grab your tea, grab your favorite cup, and sit with me for the next few minutes and let's just have this conversation together. And so I want to give you guys some announcements. As you know, we are getting ready for our Sip and Celebrate relaunch event for Gigi Inc., where we are celebrating 8 years of being a nonprofit organization in our community, helping girls to ignite confidence. And so I want to invite you to this event. It's going to be November the 30th, and it's going to take place at the Boca Dunes Golf and Country Club in Boca Raton, Florida. And so you can join us there. It's from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's going to be so much fun, guys. I'm having fun just planning the event. And so if you are in South Florida, you don't want to miss this. It's going to be amazing. We have amazing teas for you to try. We have guest performances. We have some of our old scholarship recipients are going to come. They're going to tell us about what they've been up to, all the exciting things that they are doing in their communities. You're going to hear from some of our board members. We're going to cast our vision for 2025. So I'm telling you, I'm giving you all the little insider things that's going to happen at this amazing event. So you don't want to miss it. You can grab your tickets. I'll put the link for the tickets in this video. So please come out. And if you can't make it, show us some support. Definitely share the flyer. Contact us. Show us some love on social media. Make a contribution, make a donation, purchase a ticket for somebody else as a gift. That's always nice, right? For the holidays. But it's going to be great. So I'm hoping to see you there. You don't want to miss it. If this is the first time you're tuning in to Confidence Tea, welcome. I want you to give StreamYard permission. That way we can see your comments. And if you want to join in the conversation and you have something to say, share your thoughts with us. This is definitely going to be a conversation amongst friends. So don't be shy. Say hi. Say hello. Let me know what city you are tuning in from. That way I can give you a shout out. If you're from Florida, all my Florida people say, hey, I'm over here in Oregon and it's cold and rainy and not so much fun. But anyways, so I'm excited about just the conversation that we get to have tonight. And if you are interested in being a guest on Confidence Tea, you can send us an email. You can always inbox me. I pay attention to those people. People inbox me all the time. So I will pay attention. I will respond. It might take me a while, but I will respond to your message and we'll get you on. And let's have a conversation. Let's talk. Let's chat. So I'm excited. I want to tell you guys about my guest for this evening. Um, Tiffany Sears. She is a Charlotte native, a former educator, a global literacy advocate, and she's a real estate expert. Who says women cannot wear many hats? So amazing. But she was born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tiffany has witnessed firsthand the transformation of her beloved hometown from a small, close knit community to the vibrant, dynamic city it is today. She and her husband, Mark, have been married for 30 years and they've raised four children in this amazing city. That's so wonderful. That's beautiful. Before transitioning to real estate, Tiffany earned a master's degree in education and spent many years as a dedicated classroom teacher. She later took on a global role with an international nonprofit improving literacy and leadership standards around the world. With a strong desire to build community, her background in education allows her to continue her passion of educating the community on ways real estate can be a path towards building generational wealth. Now, as a highly respected real estate agent, Tiffany leverages her experience and knowledge to guide her clients through the home buying or selling process with ease. With a focus on personalized service, she strives to make every transaction seamlessly and stress free. So I'm excited to welcome you guys to Confidence Tea, Miss Tiffany Sears. So please welcome Miss Tiffany. Hey,
Hello.
how
I'm so
are
happy to
you?
be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, thank you so much for being here. I am just so excited to get to have this amazing conversation with you. And you have just accomplished so much, and your skin is glowing. You look
Oh,
like you're only like 25. So I'm like,
well,
wait a
no,
minute.
I haven't seen 25 in a while. My birthday was actually Saturday, so I just turned 54.
Oh my goodness, you look awesome. You look awesome.
Thank
Like
you.
that's a whole nother conversation. We need to know your secrets. Like, what are you? You like your skin is flawless. So, but welcome, welcome, welcome. I know I read your bio, but I definitely want to give you a chance to kind of, introduce yourself to our audience and, tell us a little bit about you. And that way we can kind of get to know you a little bit more.
Well, you summed up pretty much most of my, I'd say my life, although I am a GG. I've got two grandchildren, a grandson who's two, and a brand new granddaughter who is just a month old now. So that adds another level of excitement to my life. But
That is
be,
exciting.
being a Charlotte native, and I've lived in other Delaware was the other state that I lived in, but Charlotte's home, and so many amazing things have happened here. I met my husband here. We raised our children here. It's a fantastic place to be, and I really enjoy what I get to do with other people, which is helping them build community here in the place where I love. I love to travel. Put me on a plane.
Me
Take me
too.
take
Me
me to
too.
an
My bags are
island.
always packed,
Always packed. Always
ready
packed.
to go.
And my husband says as soon as I'm like a day out from leaving vacation, it's time to plan the next one because I think that's important to have something to look forward to. I love to dance. I love music. Um, I love to cook and host for groups of people, for parties, for events. But the daily mundane cooking dinner is not my favorite. But that pretty much sums up who I am.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. I mean, let me tell you, I have no rhythm. I can't dance to save my life. Like, don't ask me to dance. You'll be like, is she having a seizure? Like, what's going on? It's bad. It's bad. And people always think like, they're like, what do you mean you can't dance? Like, I'm like, being black is not a prerequisite to knowing how to dance. Like, I don't know why people
As
think.
long as you enjoy it and you're having fun, that's all that matters.
Well, I mean, fun I will have. I'm the life of the party, but let me tell you, don't expect me to get out on the dance floor and start, showing everybody my moves cuz No, that's not. I do
Well,
like to cook. I do like to cook, and I can cook. People always assume I can't cook because they're like, "When do you have time? You're always doing something." But I can actually cook.
well, I will say that I was put into dance class when I was about 9 years old because I was incredibly clumsy
Oh
and
wow!
would fall all over the place. And my mom said, "We're going to see if this helps," and put me in dance class. So I took ballet, tap, and jazz from about 9 until I was in college,
Oh wow! Good for
and actually
you.
taught dance for a good chunk of my high school years. And I could not cook at all when I got married, and I had to learn to cook. So here we are.
30 years later.
Yeah, the rule was always whoever got home first cooked dinner, and it
Okay.
seemed like slowly over time, my husband got home later and later and later and later, and
He had to help you learn, right? Like he had to kind of like guide you through the process. Like, let me help her.
well, I will say it was probably more my grandfather who's passed away since we first got married. But every day I would call him when I got home, and it's like, "How do you cook this? How do you cook that?" And so he would walk me through how to prepare the different meals and things like that. So I think that was really instrumental in just being able to enjoy the art of hosting and preparing for people that you love and seeing them have a good time and enjoy the meal. So that was a big part of my beginning marital life.
Well, at least he was patient with you. Like that's great that he allowed you time to develop that skill set.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So, you're born and raised in Charlotte,
I
and
was.
I mean, and you got a chance to kind of see it transform over the years to now people know Charlotte as Charlotte, but you had a chance to see that develop. So how cool is it that you actually get to do real estate in your own community that you grew up in? Like that must be just an amazing.
It's changed so much, and I describe Charlotte as a small town pretending to be a big city. We still have that small community feel. They're the most frustrating thing for me is that they keep changing what the areas are called, and it's like, no, that's not what that is. That's just that's Clinton Road and South Boulevard. That's not LoSo. Why are we doing that? Why are we making things up?
Making new
But
names.
making new names. But just seeing the dynamic growth and that when people move there, they genuinely love being a part of the community. And there's so much to do. Like the food scene's on fire. We've got every major sporting team out there, the arts. It's just changed so much to where there's always something to do, always something going on. And it's just a great way to build community. And there's a wonderful woman that has a weekly 2-mile walk for Black women in Uptown Charlotte. And anyone that wants to put on their sneakers and walk the rail trail and just talk, and it's a great way for people to meet new friends, to get to know the area, and chat a bit. So we try to get out there as much as we can, walk with them, talk about the area, what's going on. But it's just been amazing to have an opportunity to sort of help people find where they fit.
Hmm.
And because I think a lot of people think of real estate as or realtors, as just people that are here to facilitate a transaction to get you from point A to point B. But in reality, our job is really to help build community and to make sure people, especially people that aren't from the area, um, have this sense of belonging and sense of
Hmm.
purpose here, and they can form connections and get involved. And we should be that resource for them.
That's amazing, and I think that says a lot about the field in general. And you're not the first person that I've heard say that, because the reality of it is, like, you can live somewhere, but until you really feel connected to a place, and I have not found that, I'm like a hopper. I've lived here and I've lived there,
Mm,
and I'm here for a year, here for another year, and I've yet to find my place of, this is home, like, this is my spot, my belonging,
right.
and so, and I'm still on my journey, so I'm still looking, but now that
Come
you
on to
say,
Charlotte.
well, now that you say that, I visited some different areas, and I've had some different real estate agents try to, poach me. I went to Tennessee not too long
Mm,
ago, and I met a real estate agent there, and she was like, "Oh yeah, we help you." She's like, "I want you to get plugged into the community," and I was just like, "Oh," And so, but it really makes a difference, because, me knowing firsthand, because I've relocated several times, and being in a new area, especially if you don't have family in the area, sometimes it can be very difficult, and you can almost feel isolated, and it can be, something that's really draining, just to find your
right.
place and to find that sense of belonging in a community.
I think that when we moved to Delaware, oh gosh, my daughter was had just turned 3, and so it was she's just turned 24, so that tells you how long ago that was. But my husband was transferred, and we moved, and he ended up with, and we had a house built up there. So by the time everything was done, we were all excited. This was going to be wonderful. No, knew no one, absolutely no
Mm,
one.
it's hard.
Closest relative was 2 hours away, and my husband had a business trip right after we moved into the home, and I remember distinctly that somehow I got my son off, on the school bus, put my daughter in her car seat, and realized I had locked the keys to the house in the house. I did not have a way to get into the house. And we didn't have a garage door opener at that point. Everything was locked on the inside, could not get in. And, back then, we really didn't have cell phones that we were using on a consistent basis. And I sat in the car and cried, just
Oh.
sobbed because I had no one. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it was the first moment that I realized that it was really just me and my husband
Mm-hmm.
on our own to make this work, because my family's all in Charlotte. He's moved all over the place growing up, so it wasn't new to him, but it was the first time I had ever been someplace outside of Charlotte. And our agent really wasn't as helpful at that point. And so when I got into real estate, that was one of the things that I really vowed that I was going to do, is make sure that people had a sense of connection,
Mm-hmm.
and it was important. So we actually have a new division in our firm. I own my firm, so I'm the CEO and broker in charge, and we are a small boutique independent firm here, with 9 other agents. And we just launched a new division, and it's our concierge relocation
Oh,
department, and
wow. Kudos to you. That's amazing.
it's designed basically to allow someone who is relocating to the area to just walk into their life. So we can help arrange everything from stocking your fridge to having a private chef come out, or meal service, which churches and schools, and do tours,
Oh,
and
wow.
having an interior decorator come out and help you with your furniture placement. So if you really wanted to just walk in
You
and
could.
set up shop, you could. But being able to provide a list of services and businesses and connections for you immediately. And we host an annual client appreciation event each summer. It's usually in the summer, and we bring all of our clients, all of the agents bring their folks together. We had about 88 people this past year that came out and hung out with us. And the amount of people that have connected through what we do and formed their own friendships, and
Mhm.
connections, and do business together, and
That's
that they look
awesome.
forward to getting together each year. And it's about building, again, community, a family, network. that they can have and take with them. So it really does, I think, help when you have the ability to bring people together in a meaningful, purposeful way. It's
That's
genuine and
awesome.
authentic.
I love
We love
that.
it.
I absolutely love that. That would totally fit into my my scheme of things because granted I've relocated several times, but that's usually my task. And sometimes when you're, establishing life and doing the work and
Hmm.
you got to go to work, you got to come home, you got to, and so
Right.
you don't always have the time to make those connections despite and I'm a people person at heart. Like
Hmm.
I love people, I love community. I love just, being a part of things. I love just all of this, all of the things that makes you feel like you have a sense of belonging.
Right.
And so everywhere I go, I search for that. Like everywhere that I've lived, I've built my own little niche
Yeah.
of whatever, and so just to know that but it takes time. So just to know that I could walk into a place and everything is like, okay, here's a list of this. Because usually I'm researching the churches and I'm researching
Exactly.
the organizations and what events
Takes
they have.
time.
Yeah,
And
it takes a lot of
usually
time.
people that are relocating for work.
Hmm.
So they've got to start work on Monday or
Yep.
whatever that is. And it's like, okay, well, when am I getting my utilities set up? Well, that's something that we can take care of for you and help with that. If you're trying to figure out, okay, who do I need to call? Where do I get my hair done? Where do I get my nails done? Like there's so many things that I don't think that we think about and we've done corporate moves.
Hmm.
And they really only handle coming in, packing everything up, loading it on a truck, and unloading it for you.
Yeah.
And
Well,
they drive away.
that's it.
Um, so which is great, trust me, I appreciate that. I
I do
love that.
too. I do too.
But being able to have an opportunity to have an instant network
Hmm.
is something, and be able to not stress about those things and only focus on the things that you need to focus on, which is figuring out how this new workplace you have, or
Hmm.
you know I walked around the local grocery store in Delaware for I know an hour looking for where the wine was, because they don't sell beer and wine in the grocery stores there, but they sell it here in North Carolina in the grocery stores. So I'm like,
Somebody should
where?
have told you that.
Somebody should have told me that. Because at that point I needed a glass of wine.
Wow, that is, I mean, that changes the game. That changes because I think a lot of people have a fear of relocation. And I myself, I've relocated, I don't know, I don't know, I'm probably upward ten times.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's different cities, different states. So yeah, I think I stopped counting after the 10th move. I can literally pack my house up in 4 hours. I don't have boxes anymore. I have bins, they're labeled. I know what goes where. After you've moved so many times, you have it mapped down to a science, but it's
Mhm.
still a process. It's
Yes.
still
It's
when
the
I
little
get
things
there,
that we
it's
don't
the
think
little
about.
things, like what you said. Where do I, like, when I came to Oregon, it was like just a shocker. They don't have a hair store.
Oh,
Like there's no hair store. I was like, I
okay.
can't live nowhere where there's no hair store. Like that's not gonna work. And so it was just a rude awakening for me. I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
now I done took my hair out and I gotta order, I gotta wait
It's like, now
five
what do I
minutes,
do? Yeah.
so but I mean, it's the small things. So just having that available, I love that, what your firm is able to do and how that can really help people in that relocation process. So that's amazing. Kudos to you. I love that. Who
Thank
knows?
you.
Maybe I might be coming to Charlotte. I don't know.
Come
You
on.
you make it. You are making things sound very inviting right now, being that I
It
don't
really is a
know.
great place to live. I mean, and naturally, every place has issues. I
Hmm.
mean, it is, but,
I've
you
heard good
know,
things. I've heard good
and
things
you can
about
get from
Charlotte.
one end of the other in an hour. The
Okay.
traffic's not that bad, like, compared to Atlanta,
Oh yeah.
Miami, LA, we don't have any
Hmm.
traffic to compare. Um, People are still really friendly, and
Okay.
depending on where you like, what your lifestyle is. Now, we are not a walkable city.
Okay.
You need a car. Um,
That's
we
important.
we 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 you need a car. Um but it's a great place to be, and I love living here.
That's awesome. You look like you do. I mean, you born and raised, and you're back. You're there.
I'm a unicorn. There's not that many of us. Most of the folks now are transplants.
Okay.
We've got a ton of folks from New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, California. I've
Okay.
seen a lot of folks from Indiana, Ohio. Um, Great business, second largest banking capital,
Okay.
outside of New York. Lots of new corporations are moving here because it's just weather's good now. We can't have all four seasons in one day. You can wake up and it's 30 degrees. By 10:30, you're at 60. By 2, it could be 80, drop back down into the 50s. So you don't have, winter clothes or summer clothes. You have clothes.
Bring a jacket. Bring a jacket
Just
in the
keep it
car.
in the car. Yeah,
Bring a
always.
raincoat. Have an umbrella.
Always. I've got at least two or three pair of shoes and a couple different kinds of jackets in the car at all times.
Oh wow. Okay. So I mean that could take a little getting used to, but I mean aside from that, so how's the housing market as far as you know, living in Charlotte?
Um, I will say that it's still a booming market. We do
Okay.
have some slow downs in particular price points. Naturally, the closer to uptown Charlotte, it's pricey.
Okay. Okay.
The farther out around the perimeter, to the neighboring counties, you can get a lot of bang for your buck. I think that's one of the misconceptions is that people think we're in the South,
Okay.
and therefore it is. You can get like, oh gosh, a home for $150,000. No, not here. I would say our average price point home in the Charlotte metro area is probably about 425.
Okay.
Which for some areas of the country, that's like super low.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that would be probably average, where we're
Okay.
going to see very right now, if you're looking under 300, it's tough.
Okay. Okay.
It's really tough. I've got a couple listings in the high 3, low 4, and these are single family, but they're closer to the outskirts of Charlotte.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm coming from Boston. I'm here on a temporary work assignment in Oregon. And
Mhm.
Boston, I mean,
Oh,
six,
yeah, that's
seven.
totally totally different
I
market.
mean,
Yeah,
and we're not even talking like prime
yeah.
real estate, you know. And so definitely up north. Now, weather-wise, do you guys get like snow too or no?
We do not get a lot of snow.
Okay.
We tend to get more ice than anything else, but, the minute that they mention the possibility of a flurry, we're gonna shut everything down.
Everything
Like,
down. Like
you're not
Atlanta.
leaving you're not leaving the house. People will do the run on bread, milk and eggs, and I'm like, "Well, if you lose power, what are you doing?" You're not you're not making French toast. I'm not sure what's happening. But that's always been the case, that as soon as
Okay.
they mention that there's gonna be a flurry, people rush to the store, they get their bread, their milk, their eggs, but then they shut everything down,
Stand
so
down. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's similar to Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta for a while and I remember one year they had, I don't even, it was like a speckle, but they shut the entire city down. Everything was closed. Like nobody was going anywhere.
Oh,
And I
no.
was roaming. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Well, and I was a teacher when we moved to Delaware, and we moved in the winter, and, didn't work the rest of that school year, so I started back in the fall, and, I'm there thinking that my winter coat is a winter coat. It is not. Um, just let's be clear, what we consider a winter coat here in Charlotte is not a winter coat for anywhere up north. And, I'm in there and I've pulled out all the games and, got the kids settled. And, one of my teacher colleagues comes to the door and she's like, what are you doing? Um, we're having recess. And she's like, oh no, put their snow pants on, their snow boots on. We go outside. I'm like, are you kidding? What? the insanity of it all. So yes,
Oh,
it's not the same. It's not the same.
it's night and day. I remember moving up north. It was just like I said, "Do you want me to come to work in this? Like it's it's white. I only see white outside."
But it builds character, I will
It
say,
does.
when you have to stand outside watching 25 5-year-olds play in the snow and then try to get all of their snow gear off of them in time to start centers, it builds character.
I will say, oh my gosh. So you've had an amazing, I would say, just an amazing real estate career, and you're continuing to do great things. What is some advice that you would have for someone that wants to kind of increase their confidence? Because it takes confidence to definitely do what it is that you do, and because it's a people business, and it's sales, it's the industry, and so there
Yes.
has to be that level of confidence and a surety that you have in yourself to do that type of work.
I would say the first thing is to just be authentic. Like, don't try to pretend to be someone or something that you're not, because people they'll figure that out really
Oh
quickly.
yeah.
That you have to and you have to bet on yourself.
Mm.
Like, there may be times that you feel like, I don't know what I'm doing, or I'm just not worthy. And I think that
Hmm.
that's sort of the wrong attitude to take, because, we all bring some value.
Absolutely.
For
Absolutely.
and for me, it's like, the content is one thing. We can, as a former educator, the content, yeah, I can teach whatever, because content is fine. But I've got to be able to deliver information in a way that makes sense for folks. And in
Hmm.
order for me to do that, I really need to take the time to listen and figure out what it is that they need. Why are they asking things the way that they're asking? What's important to them? And when you figure out what's important to someone else, then you can have that conversation. But for me, it's like, okay, that's who I am.
Hmm.
That's sort of how my job has always been, to be an educator. My job has always been to be a nurturer, and so
Hmm.
I approach real estate like that. And I wish that more people felt more comfortable in just being themselves.
Yeah.
And especially when folks have a W-2 job and they're transitioning into real estate, there are skill sets that you can bring from whatever it is that you did into
Absolutely.
real estate. We are not selling sunset. We are not $1 million listing. That's not our market. That's not what we do. I'd never be able to get away with wearing stilettos and crop tops. That's not me.
Oh.
And I think that when you figure out that, okay, we're just be yourself.
Hmm.
But you have to also, I think, before that, you have to figure out who you are and be comfortable
Absolutely.
in your own skin. So once you're
Absolutely.
comfortable in your own skin, it's not a problem to show up and be authentic with someone else.
Hmm.
It's when you're not and you're always trying to pretend,
To be somebody
um,
else.
that's
Yeah.
a problem.
Hmm.
I tell our agents all the time that, and I actually had to apologize to them several months ago, because I told somebody, fake it till you make it, because they were struggling with the whole notion of getting into this and transitioning from W-2. And I was like, you know what? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I should have said that you need to walk in the reality of who you want to be.
I tell people faith it. I say faith it till you make it. I used
And
to say
it's,
fake it till you make it a lot. And then
mhm,
one time someone said, no, just faith it. And I said, you know what?
yeah.
That's true. Faith it till you make
What,
it.
and once you figure out, okay, this is who I am, this is who I'm comfortable being, and this is what I want in my life, this is what I want for my life, walk in that every single day.
Hmm.
Just get up and walk in that every single day, and you will become more confident in that person, because that person essentially is you.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that because, too often times we're so busy trying to keep up with everybody else
Yeah.
and, just trying to be something that we're not. And nine times out of 10, everybody's living is putting on this facade and nobody, you're trying to be somebody else. They're trying to be somebody else. And it's a
Mhm.
whole mess, and
Absolutely.
so. We just have to learn to be ourselves and be authentic. No
And
one
be
has,
comfortable in that.
yeah, no
Be
one,
okay with who you are.
exactly. No one can do you like you do you. And so,
Yes.
yes, absolutely. And I'm sure in your line of work, you do a lot of public speaking. I mean, you've been a global literacy advocate, former educator. I mean, just a plethora of things that you've done that entail speaking in public. What kind of tips do you have for someone that wants to gain more confidence in public speaking?
So, the old adage is picture everybody naked. I don't
Don't
do
do
that.
that.
That can be traumatizing. Don't do that.
Very.
But having spent the majority of my life, I will say, either in front of an audience in some shape, form, or fashion, from dance, whether it's, teaching, um, just sometimes it's easier just to pretend like, okay, they're not there.
Mm-hmm.
Just they're not there. And when you have to get up and entertain 5-year-olds all day, you learn how to sort of read the room and get that information out there in a way that's digestible to them.
Mm-hmm.
I do spend a lot of time thinking about sort of, especially if I'm doing a presentation, like what I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't believe in scripts. Even when we're doing real estate, I don't believe in that because it's inauthentic.
Yeah, it
But
comes
I think
off weird.
fake and phony, and that's it, you can read that. You know that that's what somebody's doing. So, um, but I do like to have conversations a lot with people. So it's like sit down and tell me what you're thinking about this or what this topic is. And my work in the nonprofit, my job was to travel around and train our global board of directors.
Mm-hmm.
So we had chapters in basically every country, and I would have to take what the content was, which was nonprofit management and good governance, and try and get that to translate into you know adages for someone in Riga, Latvia, and how is that going to work with folks
Wow.
down in Latin America or in Kentucky versus New York, because everyone
Mm-hmm.
sort of has this different
Yeah.
sort of cultural take on things.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to learn how to read the room.
Yeah.
First, you
Yeah.
gotta know the material. Gotta know the material backwards and forwards. You've got to have a, good idea of what it is that you're talking about. And then you just get up there and you figure out, okay, you find a person that's like looking at you that looks nice.
They have a
And
smile.
you kind of focus on them for a little bit, and then I think you get more comfortable just talking. And naturally, the more you do it, the better you get at it. But I do think all the years I spent dancing and being out on a stage with not being able to see anybody, and
Mm-hmm.
then getting in front of a group of kids and then a group of adults and having to figure out, okay, are they enjoying this? Because nothing is more exciting than good governance, right? Like bylaws, nothing's more exciting than that.
That is so exciting. Articles of
So
incorporation. Yes, let's go.
there's nothing more exciting than that. So you have to try and figure out, okay, how do I make this something that I'm going to enjoy? Because I
Mhm.
don't want to be anywhere all day long and not have a good time.
Right? That's
I,
that's
I just
me.
don't.
That's me. I want to have a good time no matter what I'm doing. If I'm at work, I want to enjoy work.
Look, I used to tell the kids, when I taught, it's like when I stop having fun, you stop having fun. So we need to make sure I'm always having a good time.
Wow, that's awesome. So what's in the future for you? Like what personal goals that you have as far as it relates to, maybe your business or, something on the personal side that you have that you're looking forward to?
Um, I'm looking forward to getting up to New York and seeing my grandbabies. I'm
Aw.
definitely looking forward to that. I haven't been able to get my hands on my granddaughter yet. Like I said, she's just a month old, so I'm very
Oh,
excited
she's
about.
like little
She's
baby
a
baby.
little. Yes, I'm excited about getting up there and hanging out with them for a little bit. And I'm really excited about stepping into this new era of my life. Like I said, my birthday was Saturday, and I'm by far more comfortable in my 50s than I was in my 20s.
A lot of
And I
people say that. A lot of
wouldn't go
people
back
say
to
that.
21 if you paid me. You get to a point that I'm good with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm good with me, and I'm looking forward to being able to continue down this, empty nest life with my husband, and
Yeah,
really exploring the world and taking my business to the next level.
that's
We
awesome.
are actively recruiting new agents. We are working on a few projects that we're excited about.
Okay.
In different areas of real estate. We've been chatting with clients a lot more about international investing. So there's a lot going on,
Okay.
and we're super excited about what the next, I'm going to say, 3 to 5 years holds for us. So
Okay.
we'll have to loop back around and do a
Yes, we
follow up
definitely
check.
will, because I definitely want to have more conversation. And who knows, I might end up in Charlotte because I'm
Come
still
on.
listen, I might have to take a trip or something just to, scratch that itch because I'm like, I've heard a lot of good things. And I've had several people mention, because every time I tell people, I'm like, I don't know, I guess I'm just roaming. I just been here and
Hmm.
there and everywhere, but I haven't really settled down anywhere. And
Yeah,
so, a good friend of mine suggested Tennessee, and I went on a little trip to Tennessee, and I was like, all right,
yeah,
I can see it, but it didn't. I want to get somewhere, and I want to say, like,
yeah.
that feeling of I've arrived, I've made
Yeah, I
it.
mean, we're 2 hours from the mountains. We're about 3.5 hours from the beach. So we're still in a good area. And like I said, we are a mini metropolitan. That's
Okay,
what I'll say. We're not Atlanta, and
okay.
I don't think we want to be
I
Atlanta.
don't. Yeah,
Um,
I've
we
been there, done that. I did Atlanta, and
Yeah, we're not. People always compare us to that, but I don't see it.
okay,
Um, there are, like I said, little pockets of community. So depending on if you are more, um, I don't even want to sound old, but like, boho chic, or if you're like more, I need to be over here, it's a little bit more, refined.
okay,
I want the city within a city. So we've
okay,
got several master plan communities. You want to go whitewater rafting? We've
okay,
got that. Like we've
okay,
got just about everything that you could possibly want here,
okay.
except like a high-speed rail system. We don't have
I'm
that.
good with that. I'm okay with that. I think I'll be fine. I think I will be just fine with that. So I don't need that in my life. So that's awesome. That's amazing. How can we connect with you? I know some of our listeners definitely, might be looking forward to moving to Charlotte or might want to know something,
Yeah.
or, potential agents or whatnot. So how can people get in touch with you?
I would say the easiest way is our website, which is the searsgroupnc.com.
Okay.
And even though we have NC on there, we're based in Charlotte, but we are also licensed in South Carolina. So we serve all of the border communities along the South Carolina, North Carolina border. But that's probably the easiest way is to go to that website, www.thesearsgroupnc.com, or our email is info@thesearsgroupnc.com. So that's the easiest way to probably reach us.
Okay, awesome. That way, if you're listening and you want to get in touch with Miss Tiffany and the Sears Group, Hey, you heard it here first on Confidence Tea. But thank you so much, Miss Tiffany, for just joining me and doing this quick chat and, letting the community get to know you a little bit more and all the services that you offer and just, chiming in. And we had a good conversation, I think.
I think so. Thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And hopefully we can get you back on probably next year sometime and we'll see all the exciting things you have going on and where you going and who knows, I might be in Charlotte by then.
Again, come on. I'll do a personal tour for you, so come on down.
Oh my goodness. See, now I'm gonna put you on my to-do list. Anytime I get like some kind of request that's near Charlotte, I'm gonna be like, okay, call Tiffany,
That's
schedule
right.
schedule house tour.
Look,
So
we can start with just lunch. So come on
okay.
down.
All right. See, you guys heard it, right? Okay. We can do that. Absolutely. I'll be looking forward to it. You think I'm playing? I'm going to put you down on my
I'm not
calendar.
playing either. Come
I
on.
might, you're just going to get a random call one day. Yes. So, but thank you so much for joining us. And thank you so much for your insight and all the information that you were able to provide the audience. So, if you are tuning in, thank you for joining us on Confidence Tea. And we will see you next time. If anyone has not told you today, I love you. Have a good evening, everybody. Good night.